Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Inside Tennessee. I'm John North. My co-moderator, John Becker, is away. This morning, we thought we'd look back real quick at the winner of the mayoral election for the city of Knoxville. It's Indya Kincannon. She wins a second term. It's 4 years. I sat down with her, and we have that interview with you that we'd like to show you right now. Mayor Indya Kincannon joins us now on Inside Tennessee. Mayor, good morning.
Good morning.
Congratulations on election to the second term.
Thank you so much. I'm thrilled to have earned the honor.
Now, I know that you've talked a little bit about this, but could you just give us an idea of what are going to be your top priorities, maybe the top 3 or 4 for term 2?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, number one is always public safety. Public safety and keeping our core essential services going, making sure our police officers and firefighters have the resources they need to keep us safe. Number 2 is housing and land use. We are dealing with a housing crisis, and we are looking at all available and new tools to address that crisis at all levels for all types of families, from the people who need the most help with affordability to people who are just can't even find a home at any price. So housing and land use. And then, of course, it's really important that we continue to invest in great spaces, our parks, the stadium, our new public safety complex, and connecting people to those parks through greenways and streets and sidewalks, and so great spaces is important. And then fourth priority is jobs and prosperity, making sure everybody has access to high quality jobs so they can support themselves and their families and have a great life here in Knoxville.
You mentioned public safety, Mayor. Do you see any hurdles in terms of addressing that one? Obviously, a lot of folks would agree with you. That's extremely important that we all have a good safe sense of space. Any hurdles you're anticipating?
Yeah, well, like communities across the country, there's been a challenge recruiting people to join police departments. I think people know Knoxville supports police. I support police, and that we have a great place for police officers to come and start and continue their careers here. So that's a challenge. We want to get up to our full authorized force. The other challenge that is public safety and housing intersection, along with mental health and healthcare, is the issue of homelessness. When people are, not using shelters and don't have a place to live and can't afford it, or dealing with mental health and drug abuse issues, that it makes it so they're very vulnerable to crime. But it also, if they're out living and breaking laws in our parks and stuff like that, that makes it people feel unsafe using our public spaces. So those are issues that we are addressing with partnership with the county. We have a new joint office of housing stability, which I think will help with coordination of services, and most importantly, everyone's concerned. Many people also want to help, but we want to coordinate that help to make it the most effective as possible. So there are challenges, but we're working on it, and we welcome the partnership with area nonprofits and churches, and of course our government partners with the county and state.
Homelessness is an issue that we've talked about many times here on Inside Tennessee. Talking a little bit about that, the idea struck me, and I think you're sort of addressing this. We have a lot of nonprofits, a lot of sort of grassroots groups that are doing things, but maybe they're not all talking to each other or coordinating resources. Is that something that you're hoping maybe this joint city-county office can help with?
Yes, absolutely. I think Aaron Reed is the director of that new effort, and we need to coordinate. We have lots of willing people, but are we having 100 churches who are providing sandwiches and blankets, and not so many providing overnight emergency shelter or shelters for families. And the other thing that is really important is prevention. And so if we can help people before they lose their homes in the first place with rental assistance, but we need money from other sources to do that. It's illegal to do rent control. We cannot do that in the state of Tennessee.
Probably never going to happen in
Yeah,
this
but
state.
It is a lot easier and more cost effective if we can keep people in the homes they're already in, so they don't even have to experience homelessness, or if they're homeless, it's a very short duration, because the longer they're experiencing insecurity, the harder it is for them to get more stable situation.
Are you a list maker? Are you a goal setter in terms of you pull your calendar out with your your staff and say, okay, in 2024, I want to do this, in 25, I want to do this?
Yes, absolutely. The most important resource we have is our time. And right now, I have the luxury of being reelected to another 4-year term. That'll start in December. But I've already assembled, we have a few changes in my leadership team. I'm glad to welcome Cheryl Ball and Rebecca Jane Justice and Grant Rosenberg as members of my cabinet. And they're going to be leading on those essential core services as COO, Grant Rosenberg, in jobs and connecting to the business community. Rebecca Jane Justice is on public spaces and connecting people to those spaces. And Cheryl Ball is my lead on housing and land use, which is something we're working on missing middle, but missing middle housing is just one part of that. So yeah, we're working on a very focused goals that are what the city has the authority to do, the capacity to do, and the urgency to do.
What's been the hardest part of this job that you realized in term 1, and how did you work to sort of overcome it?
Well, I think one of the challenges is that, we're going through a time of big change in Knoxville. It's a great time to live here, but there are a lot of people who are who have experienced trauma, either personal through violence or general because of COVID or because of housing instability, and they look to the city for answers. And we can provide some help and support and solutions, but we can't fix the problems that everybody's problems. No government could, no organization can, but we can partner, we can support where possible, and we can build changes in the system so people's problems are addressed. But when people come and ask for help, we can offer help, but only indirectly, that can be challenging because I want to help people. That's why I'm in this role.
Sure.
I'm a public servant, and the city exists to help people, but it's not always in the most direct manner that they want that day. And so that's a challenge, but we keep plugging away, and we're making huge strides on adding to the inventory of housing and also increasing the inventory, particularly for affordable housing. So I'm really grateful for the partnership of Justice Knox in that effort. And we're going to be proposing pretty significant changes to how we use our land and zoning ordinances that we hope will help manage the growth in our city in a way that also maintains the high quality of life for people who are already here.
Mayor Indya Kincannon, we appreciate you being on Inside Tennessee this morning, and good luck to you in term number 2.
My pleasure.
Take care.
Thank you.
City of Knoxville has term limits, so this will be her second and only term, and as the mayor mentioned, that starts in December. We've got to take a break, but we've got more politics to talk about with some very good friends right after this break.